Yo, what's up? It's Ronald Jefferson, Johnny C. Sower, with another RKJ Topics. This from Israel 365 News. We had a couple from them lately. Let's see what it's about. Amid rising violence in Judea and Samaria, U.S. official calls for creating Palestinian state. Come on, man. There's a prophecy in the Bible that the generation that saw the recreation of Israel back to his homeland was be the generation of the end times. That's why in 2018 it had been 70 years. Next year be 75 years. So we're going to see. For it was Hashem's offering to stiffen their hearts to give battle to Israel, in order that they might be proscribed without quarter and wiped out, as Hashem had commanded Moshe. Joshua 11:20, the Israel Bible. United States Assistant Secretary of State for Near Eastern Affairs Barbara Leaf on Wednesday reaffirmed President Joe Biden's support for the two-state solution despite rising Palestinian violence in Judea and Samaria. So Joe Biden supported two-state solution. You know what? I call them the Democrats, man. I really do. I don't know what to say about the Republicans. I'm more of a Republican than a Democrat, but I'm really in the middle. It's both things on both sides I support. But I call them the Democrats because they're the party of Satan, even though the Republican Party about 5 or 6 years ago switched the stars from their elephant to pentagrams to matter over spirit pentagrams. It always was a pentagram, but it was spirit over matter. They inverted the pentagrams for matter over spirit, so that's wrong. Leaf, speaking at a press conference regarding her recent trip to the Middle East and North Africa, stressed the administration's commitment to the creation of a Palestinian state side by side with Israel, so that Israelis and Palestinians can live safely and securely enjoy equal measures of freedom, security, and prosperity. Well, tell the Palestinians to stop shooting rockets into Israel. Because that's what they be doing. If Israel is like the 5th strongest nation on earth, they got like one of the top air forces. If they wanted to, they could wipe whatever Palestine is. They could wipe that off the map. The two-state solution calls for creating an unprecedented militarized Palestinian state inside the borders of Israel, ethnically cleansed of Jews, and with its capital in an exclusively Muslim Jerusalem. Let's read that again. This is what they said the two-state solution is. The two-state solution calls for creating an unprecedented, militarized Palestinian state inside the borders of Israel. Really? The army? Another? I understand they got to have their own army, but bro, stop trying to divide that land, man. The Lord is giving it back to them people. And not just white Jews, Jews of all nationalities. There's all types of Jews over there, man. It's got Jewish blood pumping through their veins, man. Leave them alone. Whoa, that's crazy. And what about the Dome of the Rock? Let's talk about that for a minute. That's right where the Temple Mount's supposed to be. The third temple, it's on the Temple Mount, where the third temple's supposed to be. Like, I got another article coming up later talking about the third temple. We don't want to rebuild the third temple, man. We really don't, because once that happens, you're real close to being into the end of the world, the end of man's rule on earth. Well, Satan's rule on earth, I should say. She added that Washington is encouraging security cooperation between the two sides to the greatest degree possible. The administration is focused on bettering economic conditions in the Palestinian-controlled territories, Leaf noted, saying this can help and sustain improvement in security conditions. She listed a number of administration projects designed to boost economic growth and greater opportunities for Palestinians, including $100 million promised by Biden during his visit in July to an Eastern Jerusalem hospital network, the extension of 4G cellular service to Judea and Samaria and the Gaza Strip, and expanding operational hours and capacity at the Allenby Bridge crossing between Jordan and Israel. The belief that there was a crucial relationship between poverty and terrorism has been disproven by countless studies. No, it's not poverty, it's radicalism. It's believing that by any means necessary, your religion has to rule. And that's an Islamic problem because Christianity's not like that, Hinduism not like that, Buddhism not like that. No other faith is like ruled by any means other than Islam. The belief that there was a causal relationship between poverty and terrorism has been disproven by countless studies, most notably one written by Avraham Jagger for the International Institute for Counterterrorism and the IDC Herzliya, which conclude that the great majority of both theoretical and empirical research on the association between poverty and terrorism leads to an inevitable conclusion that poverty is not, as it often perceived to be, a cause of terrorism. No, poverty is a cause of the crime in Chicago, though, in Baltimore, in Houston, in Jacksonville, in Atlanta. That poverty's causing all that. Believe that. It's causing all that in all the big cities, man. Leaf also added the ongoing U.S. mediated indirect talks between Israel and Lebanon regarding a maritime border dispute concerning offshore natural gas finds. On the issue of the maritime discussions, they are progressing. Both parties are showing a good constructive engagement. Our envoy, Amos Hochstein, and I talk regularly, and he is very committed to bringing this to a conclusion if the spirit is willing on both sides. And so far, so good. So those differences are narrowing, she said. During her tour, which began in Tunisia on August 29th, Leaf also visited Jordan and Iraq with the goal of reinforcing Biden's affirmative framework for U.S. engagement in the region, including a focus on reducing conflicts, engaging in regional security partnerships, and promoting regional integration. In Amman, she met with Jordanian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Ayman Safadi to discuss shared efforts to promote regional stability and security. She said the U.S. will sign a 7-year bilateral memorandum of understanding with the kingdom on Friday, describing it as the longest and largest ever agreed to be to with longest and largest ever agreed to with Jordan. Biden announced the prospective MOU during his meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah II at the Arab Summit in Jeddah, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, in July. Under it, Washington will provide no less than $1.45 billion per year in U.S. bilateral foreign assistance to Jordan, beginning in FY 2023 and ending in FY 2029. That must be fiscal year, according to the White House statement. Lee said the assistance will help put Jordan on a more stable economic footing as it pursues economic reforms and copes with an acute water shortage. On the last stop of her tour in Iraq, in which she visited Baghdad and Erbil, the capital of the autonomous Kurdistan region, Lee focused on the country's government crisis, where violence erupted late last month with the August 29th announcement by Shiite leader Muqtada al-Sadr that was resigning from politics. In Baghdad, I delivered a straightforward message to a range of senior governmental leaders, and there is an urgent need for Iraq's political leaders to come together to make important compromises that will chart a way out of Iraq's current crisis over government formation, she said. We regard Iraq as a vital partner of the United States on so many levels, a partner with which we want to accomplish much, much more on global issues, including regional issues, including water security, climate change, and increasing trade and investment opportunities, Leaf continued. The grinding impasse over government formation, which flared into violence 10 days ago, unfortunately only underlined the degree to which opportunities are being squandered. Referring to Iraq's federal Supreme Court ruling last February that an oil and gas law in Kurdistan is unconstitutional and demanding that the region hand over its crude supplies, Leaf warned that attempting to enforce the decision risks widening the political crisis into an economic one. She suggested Baghdad and Erbil resolve the matter through third-party negotiations. I don't know, what do you think about that? What do you think about this article? A Palestinian state inside of Israel, militarized Muslims. Not to cast aspersions upon Muslims, but the ones over in the Middle East seem different than the ones in America. The ones in America seem like they're just trying to get money and live a good life. The ones over there seem like they're trying to conquer by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? And take and loot and plunder like in Captain Planet. Loot and plunder. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet. Talk about the Lord. You'll pay for this, Jesus Christ. What do you think about this article, though? I'm going to end it on that. It's been 11 minutes, the microwave generation. I don't even get many views, but I'm going to keep on making them. I'm not going to stop this time. Yeah. One love to the YouTube community. Thank you. Good night.